Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Ha
30 seconds until minions spawn.
You will lose. You will lose. You will lose.
Minions have spawned.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me in the daily high ELO. I just wanted to say thanks for continuing to watch, and we do have a very interesting team. Oh, and a great grab by the Blitz, and unfortunately he fails the flash. Very unfortunate for the blue team, but great job by the red team being able to take that kill using bottom team's flash. So I'm a little concerned about the blue team's bottom lane at this point. They're going to provide a lot of pressure onto that bottom lane now that Ezreal does not have that flash. So we won't have Arcane Shift or the flash when he comes in the lane. So it's going to be a very good opportunity. Let's see. Red team is pinging the Oriana now that he has... Oh, yes, he got it. And the snare. They didn't quite stagger it well enough, and the auto attack does pick it up. Great job by Ryze using that flash perfectly, only taking one tower shot. It does have those health potions to regenerate. But the red team... Let's talk about team comps here for a second. The red team has a fantastic protect the cog composition. Their team comp is just stun, or pop up, AoE pop up, slow, stun from Pantheon, snare from Ryze, and then Kog'Maw, because Kog'Maw does the deeps. Blitzcrank for the grab, power fist, silence. Just a really great overall team comp with protecting the cog. I'm a tad bit worried about the Pantheon, because Pantheon either does really well or he flops completely. And now Nunu's trying to counter jungle, which is a tad bit interesting in my opinion, because I don't think that he can safely counter jungle against a Pantheon. Pantheon's a pretty good duelist, especially with the red buff. But he's able to get away. I think he was just trying to sneak that blue buff, and he knew he was going to be able to get out. Pantheon doesn't have much mana, so it's not really too much he can do. As far as the blue team goes, though, blue team has so many slows. I guess they only have 3, but still, it's a lot of slows. Rumble is getting rocked by this Malphite right now. Malphite is almost out of mana, and luckily for Rumble doesn't have mana, and now Nunu's coming out from the back, going to be able to slow him down, and decided not to get in. Pantheon gets executed by the Wolves. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. It looks like he was not really trying to run away quite yet. And Malphite doing a crazy amount of damage to everybody, picking up that blue buff, and I think he's going to go down. Yes, he goes down to the Rumble. That Flame Spitter just does so much damage, especially if you're trying to run away. He can speed himself up, and unfortunately Malphite just did not have the mana yet from that blue buff to be able to slow him down and, I guess, speed vamp him. So a tad bit depressing on that end, but he was able to get a kill, so it was a 1 for 2, and he did also force Rumble to go back, so Rumble's going to lose out on some experience. He's not going to utilize that blue buff as much as a mana using champion, so it's not as big of a deal. I mean, cooldown reduction is, of course, ginormous at this stage in the game because all your cooldowns are at their highest early on in the game. So it's great to be able to have that. I'm a little bit worried about Ryze being able to last hit at the tower as well, because Ryze is known to have a couple issues with that. And against Oriana, who's a great farmer, she can pretty much just spam her spells. She doesn't have blue buff, but she did see the Pantheon, Now she's pinging for the Pantheon, and I think she's just going to speed herself and get away. I don't think she'll use a flash, but it's possible. Now she's just going to go down. Great job being able to slow the Pantheon. Pantheon almost walked into that bush. And now he goes in for the stun, and he's taking a lot of damage. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get out of that. And a lot of damage now going on. No, neither of the AP mids had any mana left, or had enough mana left to really do too much. The bar looks like it's there, but like I said, this early in the game, mana, I mean, 43 looks like a quarter. 130, and it's Ryze, so it's not going to be too much. They're just going to kind of hang out with each other for a little bit. I could definitely see Rumble leveling up his shield. One more, yeah. So he leveled up Scrap Shield a little bit. Just any time Malphite throws down that Seismic Shard, he's going to pop his shield to take less damage. But then again, Malphite will, and again, Malphite is timing it perfectly. He's waiting for that Scrap Shield to end before he even throws it. He's not really too worried, it seems. Scrap Shield doesn't last too long, so he's able to just kind of abuse the fact that it doesn't last very long and wait a little bit. I think Rumble might be playing it a tad bit incorrectly on that sense. He's just kind of using it for speed here and there. He just doesn't understand that. Wingsofdeathx is a excellent top laner, and he does expect things like that to happen. Once he sees the opportunity, he's not just going to ignore it. He's going to get in the free damage when he can. But now Nunu's up top, and Malphite has absolutely no idea. Malphite has his ult, and he has to use it to get away. Very unfortunate. It's going to let Rumble get to level 6 before he gets back, it seems. And that's going to be great for Rumble. It's going to put him a little bit back in the game. It wasn't a huge gank, but they did force his ultimate, so he's going to be significantly less terrifying for a minute or two until he gets that back up. And Kog'Maw's getting a lot of harass down from the Ezreal, and the grab from Blitzcrank just barely misses that Ezreal, just barely. That'd be the perfect time to grab right when he uses Arcane Shift. I believe his flash is up now, so it wouldn't have been detrimental, but it still would have been terrifying since he would have been in tower range with no creep, so he would have taken a tower shot or two. And there's a ping going down in this tri-bush. And I think Blue knows that Pantheon is there. Yes, they definitely saw him, but okay, so they are pinging it. They're not really making any transitions for it quite yet. Looks like Kog'Maw is... Oh, I missed it. I apologize for that. So Ryze was able to flash in, ignite, snare, use his ultimate, and just basically one combo the Oriana without too many problems. And now Ezreal's throwing his ult out. Oh, great flash by the Kog'Maw, being able to get out of there, and red team is in a little bit of danger at bottom lane. Bottom lane is all completely low, and now Nunu shut down the mid champion with the Rumble. So unfortunate for Ryze, gave the blue team some extra gold for shutting down that killing spree. It's not something he wanted to do, but it does happen getting caught out. Sometimes get a little bit cocky. Red now has a ward here, and they were able to ping that Rumble. And now Pantheon's coming in, and this could be detrimental. Since Rumble does not have his ultimate, it's going to happen. The stun going in. Malphite going in with Unstoppable Force, and stun now going in. Being able to pick up the kill, the ignite going down, and now so many minions. Was able to get away successfully, though. So what Red really wants to do is they kind of want to bait this out. They want to survive and try to delay the match out as much as possible. They have a pretty nice early game with the Ryze and the Blitzcrank, as well as the Pantheon. Pantheon's an excellent early game champion. He didn't go for a Brutalizer, he actually went for a Madrids, which is a tad bit surprising, because you don't see that too frequently. I believe he usually rushes a Brutalizer, does a little bit of roaming, and then goes for it. And the Man-Drop coming in! Man-Drop's coming in, and the flash with the... Oh, and a great grab coming out from the Blitzcrank, and now the stun. Perfect shot by the Kog'Maw. Great timing on the stun right before she got in the bush to get away. And now red team's pinging for dragon, and that is going to be a free dragon for the red buff, or for the red team, sorry. But yeah, so they put down, the red team put down a pink ward to clear out the pink ward for the blue team. So great job not being able to give them timer on when the dragon goes down, and now at the same exact time, pretty closely to, a rumble goes down from Malphite up top, and Malphite barely survives with just a hinge of life. So he's going to try to push the lane as hard as possible. I believe he would go back after this, but then again, you never really know sometimes. Yeah, it does look like he's going to go back. So great job by him being able to push the lane. He's going to force Rumble to miss out on a lot of experience just from this. It's only like, you know, a wave and a half of size, but it's still, once that starts to add up, it's not good. Rumble really, he kind of needs farm. He's very powerful, of course. He can usually get away from most people just because he has that spammable speed up, the scrap shield, so it speeds him up as well as shields him pretty nicely, and then he does a lot of DPS as well on top of that with his flame spitter. And those electro harpoons, being able to slow them down as well at the same time. But again, Malphite has that speed steal, so it's gonna happen really. Oh no, and now mid, Oriana goes down, and a lot of action going down all over the map. It looks like the same time. No? Okay. I'll try to catch everything. There's a lot of action going down, and now Blitzcrank is going for the race, but Nunu was able to spot it in time. And Ryze is just going to go for a really quick wave clear, force them to lose experience mid. And this is, red team is just doing a great job at forcing the blue team to lose experience. So blue is trailing behind by quite a bit, at 12 minutes in the game. And Pantheon's now coming in, throws the spear, and the ultimate coming out from Malphite, and being able to pick up that kill without any problems. They took like 2 tower shots, which does nothing to Malphite when he has his shield up as well. So again, they're now taking the blue buff, which is really going to hurt against Oriana. And red team is diving again. They dove mid tower to take out that Oriana, and now Ryze is getting attacked from the tower. I don't know if this is going to be a smart grab by Blitz. He does have backup now, though, so it's very possible. Pantheon's going in for a dive, going to get the stun off. And now, possible Fire Fist. No, too many tower shots. And it goes on to the wrong person. So red team is getting a little bit cocky. That might be their downfall. They are ahead by about 4.5k gold at this point in time. But I still... Oh, and a man drop coming down. He has double buffs. Great job being able to pick that up. And the spear stun combo. And unfortunately, Kog'Maw did not expect the stun right away, so he's just able to auto attack. And the armor reduction coming out from the Heartseeker strike, doing a lot of work. And unfortunately, Kog'Maw does not have enough mana to shoot another one of his bio-arcane barrages, or living artillery, sorry. So the nerf, quote-unquote, to his living artillery makes it so every time if you use it subsequently, it has a cooldown on it, to where if you keep using it within that cooldown, it will add mana to its cost, which is pretty hurtful. Is mainly targeted towards the AP Kog'Maws that were just stacking mana really, really high, like Archangel Staff and just Rod of Ages and things like that give a lot of mana. That was the main target because it was a little ridiculous at times, but it does affect AD quite a bit as well, because ADs don't really get much mana. I mean, he only has 775 mana. So that living artillery is just going to chunk through his mana so much. It's going to be 40 mana, and then it's going to be 40 mana on top of that, so then it's going to be 80. Great job being able to dive mid again and taking out the mid tower. Great job by the red team taking out the first tower of the game, and it is the mid tower as well. Very important tower to have, because now they have almost complete map control of both jungles. And that is where it gets a little bit scary. And a lot of damage coming out from Ryze. They might be able to do a little bit more. Yes, the damage does go up. Oh, and a great job being able to get the snare off right before he dies. And now, I don't know. The man drop coming down is going to get the... Yes, great job. But Nunu was able to take out both people, which is the double kill. Great. Ezreal is coming down now as well with Soraka, silencing him out of the Heartseeker strike. And now he really has to run away, but I don't think he has anywhere to run. A great ultimate by Ezreal, taking a lot of damage. He's at like 10 health. Oh no, run away! And the Power Fist coming up. No, Power Fist should go down onto... Oh, and the ult barely missing from Oriana. Blitz is going to try to run out of there as fast as possible. I think he's going to... Yes, very unfortunate. I don't think Kog'Maw knew that they were all coming, because he didn't throw the ooze down in time, and he didn't start running either. Very scary. Yeah, they're not confident enough to dive quite yet. Since they were behind for a while, they don't want to lose what they just gained. Kog'Maw having to use his flash, trying to get away from that Oriana. Oriana does not have her ult anymore, though. So that's very fortunate for the Kog'Maw, because Kog'Maw would have died if she had her ultimate up. And Kog'Maw is throwing out those living artilleries, preventing her from recalling. So that's an awesome job. And Ryze does not have... Is he going to ult and get that speed? He does get a huge snare and does a ridiculous amount of damage to the Soraka. Soraka wasn't able to do too much once she got snared. She was a little bit too slow. That speed buff that he gets from his ult is really good, but he already has Sork shoes, so level 2 boots against poor little Soraka with their level 1 boots. She doesn't move too fast in comparison. So that's why he was able to keep up. And blue team knows that the red team is here, but red has a ward in this bush, so they knew. They knew that they knew that they knew that they knew, if you know what I mean. And a great ultimate coming out by Rumble, but the Blitz just grabs him over the wall. Like, he just doesn't care. Now the snare coming out from Ryze, and the magic reduction from his bouncing ball. His dodge ball. Why don't you learn how to dodge? Oh. If you can dodge a grab, you can dodge a ball. But unfortunately for everybody else, Ryze has a snare that's instant. And another great pickup by the red team, being able to get that Ezreal onto the Kog'Maw, trying to get the Kog'Maw fed. Although I don't necessarily know if it's necessary at this point. Ryze has 10 kills. So if we take a look at the gold here, Ryze has almost 8,000 gold. Nunu's doing pretty good for himself. He has 6,000 actually, which is, yeah, that's really good. That's tied with the second highest of the game. So that's impressive, although unfortunately for them, Nunu doesn't necessarily do too much as far as endgame goes, unless he's going AP Nunu, which it looks like he's just stacking the gold per 10 items. Great grab again, coming out from Blitz, doing the AoE silence, and getting the Nunu out of his ult almost instantly. So good job on that. I don't think that should have gone through, and yes, they shut down the killing spree again from the Ryze, giving them that bonus gold, and Nunu's just doing a lot of work right now for the team. He's trying to carry... That Yeti is carrying so many people. He's carrying Nunu. Like, I don't really... Actually, that's a good question. I don't know if it's general knowledge, but I don't know if Nunu is the Yeti or if it's the little guy on top of Nunu. Like, or... I guess I kind of answered the question myself, but... Is that Nunu or is that Nunu? I'm pretty sure the little guy is Nunu. Anyway, so the Yeti is carrying Nunu as well as the other 4 champions on the team, which is a Rumble Robot and Rumble. So, that's just a lot. A great job by Red Team being able to solo the dragon. Kog'Maw is getting a little bit fed. He did decide to go with that Wriggles Lantern so he could farm a little bit more. I think he was a little worried about that bottom lane with Blitz, because Blitz with Kog'Maw isn't necessarily the best thing. They don't have range CC. They don't have burst to really utilize that. Oh, and a great pickup by the Pantheon, taking out that Oriana again. It's very unfortunate. Oriana's getting ganked and flanked, and another anchor that I don't even know. It's It's getting a little out of hand. Oh! Oh, the grab. I was so excited for that grab. I thought it was going to go down. I was hoping that would go down, but that was a fantastic flash by the Rumble. It was like the last split second. Sometimes you don't think the grab's going to get you, but sometimes you're like, I don't know, it'd be really close, and then you don't want to risk getting another grab coming out from Blitzcrank. It doesn't really do too much since he was silenced, and a great flash coming out from Nunu, being able to get away, and the 2 Electro Harpoons missing. Unfortunate, wasn't able to slow them down in tower range. That probably would have resulted in a kill with the amount of people that they had there, and they only slowed 1 person. That would have been a great pickup for them to be able to take out that Malphite. Even though Malphite doesn't have a killing spree, he's still very powerful. And that looks like it is a surrender vote coming out from the blue team already. I kind of saw it coming. It's still depressing because I like to see the longer, extended games that are, a little bit closer. There was only 11k gold deficit. It was probably just the fact that there was such a huge kill potential on the red team since it had so much CC and the blue team didn't have any besides like slows and Oriana. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I think the blue team just simply got outpicked. I don't think that they played the proper champs for the matchup that they were doing, or for the matchup that they had. 'Cause I don't think Soraka Ezreal was the best comp to go. I know they typically can take out Kog'Maw with that composition, but I probably would have picked someone a little bit. Well, yeah, Ezreal is probably a good choice. I'm not sure if Soraka was. Maybe a Sona with Crescendo, that would have been nice to counter-initiate or to disengage. They did have Oriana to help disengage, but only having one person disengage usually just isn't enough. So congratulations to the red team and GG to the blue team. And again, if you guys like my videos, make sure to like them, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below. If you ever have any requests for champions or players that you want to see on any server, it can be the EU server, North, East, West, whatever. As long as it's not the Korean server, a lot of the Asian servers, because you need special social security numbers for those servers, and I just don't have access. So unless somebody has an account that they're willing to lend me to get maybe some high ELO Korean players, which would be awesome. Because I think, I just think it would be awesome. But yeah, again, just subscribe, like, submit requests, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.